Well, good evening. I'm Jim McGinnis. Stella and I are out here on the back porch with something new I wanted to share with you in between our Christmas greetings. It's called the Yellow Bicycle, and I wanted to thank my friends for helping me out with this one, and hope you like it. Yellow Bicycle. I woke up early with music in my head from my Groundhog Day clock radio blaring the Grateful Dead, and something a guy named Chatwin said in a book I read 20 years ago. I stepped out of the shower and over the dog, wondering what the morning had in store. I think both of us were looking forward to being on our way to our walk along the eastern shore, but it was memory that carried the day. It would be light soon. I made a half a pot of coffee, got dressed, fed the dog, and let her walk out back. I dropped some brown sugar into my cup. I usually drink it black, and I stirred it with the one clean spoon. Then we were off upon our walk beneath the fading stars and crescent moon. I was humming, whistling, singing to myself, 4-mile-an-hour pace, 4-beat rhythm to my step, with a smile upon my face. The dog stayed out front, pausing every once in a while, letting this old man catch up, and the sky lightened. That 4-beat stuff comes from the Bushmen of Australia. They believed the world was sung into creation. I first learned that from Chatwin, of course, and Jimmy Buffett. They claim we follow song lines and the music leads us on our way in the footprints of our ancestry. To this very day we keep searching for some grace. But how's the saying go? In our trek through time and space, the path is walking too. Can all of this be true? Who am I to say, one who named his Labrador a prophet? My thoughts turned in that direction as dawn gave way to day, and I got all caught up in it. But I was rescued for a while at least by a recollection running around my brain, the image of a girl on a yellow bicycle singing softly that old John Prine refrain. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. When I lived in Gainesville years ago, I spent a lot of time outside, getting away from worldly things, playing my Gibson 6-string, letting all of it slide. And I remember one evening I was out on the porch after the Spring Arts Fest, drinking cheap red wine, trying my best not to butcher a favorite ballad of mine, when I noticed a girl on a bike leaning on the bridge railing, listening, I guess. I don't think she could see me from where I sat on the step, but I could see her holding her hair up off her shoulders, and I had to look twice. She started singing along as I got to the chorus of Paradise. I stood and smiled sadly at this memory right there on the beach. The dog stopped and stared back at me, and sweet regret returned from a time so far beyond my reach. Or was it? It's a mystery why I didn't walk out and talk to her. But I kept on, and she was gone by the time I finished the song, and I never saw her again. I remember her shrugging, somehow thinking it was okay, but later it hit me. Had I seen her before that day, I would have remembered. I thought again of song lines, hers and mine, and how they may have crossed, with no idea then or now of the value or the cost. She just might be remembering bits and pieces of this herself somewhere, while on a bike ride across another town, or maybe while holding her grandbaby there in an old hand-me-down rocking chair. I like to think that it was her mother's, brought down from Appalachia or St. Augustine in freshly painted avocado green. Perhaps she sang a soft song in that rocker, consoling a crying child, helping him endure, taking them both back to our beginnings when movement soothed us and made us feel secure. It's a funny thing about music. It can steer us, or at least salve our souls in uncertain moments. We're stirred by the rhythm and the gentle beat. Did she dance, I wondered. Well, she might say, I like to sway my shoulders and shuffle my feet. You gotta move your feet. If I could, I'd ask her if she read Chatwin's book. I'd tell her about my own strains and strands and lines weaving through the mangroves, stretching down to the Caribbean Sea. I'd talk about the old piano out on Cabbage Key and a jukebox in an airy little waterside joint just north of Grant called Castaway Point, a place that doesn't even exist anymore. And I would listen as she told me about her own streams and threads, but she might not say anything at all. She may only remember a perfect bike ride accompanied by a song she could recall, so many times spilling from her brother's room across the hall. Maybe she remembers only the pond and the bridge and her love for Gainesville. I would probably say too much. I'd throw it all out there, unwilling to lose what I did not know I had to gain. I would talk about the links of chain and the mystical tones and hope she remembered Prine's refrain. Won't you sing with me again on this warm spring day down by the green river where paradise lay? It comes back to the songs, you know. The Bushmen were right in the memories of immigrants and the dreamings of aborigines, in the achings of natives and the longing of refugees. The song is a door. It is the music that opens us up, that reaches to the core. The jumbled mixture of events and the songs that each singer sings are the cadences and rhythms that our living brings. All our joys, tempered by the hard times, salted by the tears. Our hopes and dreams and dreads and fears. And yeah, the laughter all mixed up with the rest of it. So here, on the other end of a life, I still sit on porches with my dog, or lean on the hood of my American car and finger pick 3 chords on my ancient guitar, keeping my eye out for yellow bicycles. Still searching for some grace, refusing to believe we disappear without a trace, holding on to memories like books on my shelves, thinking maybe that along with ancestors, we walk unwittingly with our once and former selves. The center fielder brushes by, racing, chasing a long high fly. The sunburned Floridian casts a line, standing on the bow of his boat. The young teacher keeps preaching as the boy's nap deepens. The old man stops to rest as the slope of the road home steepens. And the guy on that porch sees the girl on the bike in a halter top and faded jeans. There on the rusty bridge railing she leans, and he starts writing a song that he knows can't begin to say all that it means. Songs are wise that way. Fair winds and following seas.